Women, man. Men only do the crazy shit they do 'cause of women, man. Truly. Chicks, man. Chicks are... Chicks are unknown, man. I mean, guys? Guys I get. I can empathize with guys. But chicks? Chicks, man. I don't know about chicks, man. Fuck. Chicks are beyond me, man. Gotta love 'em, man. But you can't think too much about 'em, or you'll fuck up your fucking head, man. And I thought I had that pretty much figured out before I got to the city. But the city, man, fuck. The city just turns everything right up, man. The city just fucking maxes everything right out. Truly. The city chicks are just too fucking much, man. Too much. You'll burn your fucking eyes out just looking, man. Serious. It's fucking seriously maxed the fuck out. Totally unreal. But I fucking loved it, man. Every second. I ate it up. It was like I was on another planet. Living another life. There were pros everywhere. It's nuts, man. I don't know why it took me so long to go. I taped every fucking pro off the TV. You'd think I would have eventually went to see him for real in the city. Rita never pushed the city on me. Probably didn't want to be responsible for blowing my mind. But I think when Ava found out that after all that time I hadn't left town and I hadn't ever been to the city, she kind of flipped. She thought I was fucking nuts. And you know what? She was probably right. I lived so close by the whole time. Just needed to jump on the train and I could get off right downtown. Right in Pros Central, man. Nuts. First fucking night in the city, Ava sends me to the ballpark. It was ridiculous, man. Biggest place I'd ever seen in my life. I can't even tell you how many fucking games I taped from that park. Didn't matter, man. None of those tapes gave that park a lick of justice, man. It's too much. It's too much for one tape to take in. Too much to translate. Too much to contain. You can't contain it. You just gotta go and sit back and take in whatever you can. It's too much. And the pros just max it out. Oh, man. I met so many pros, it was nuts. Shaking hands and getting photos. I was on top of the world. And then, wouldn't you know it, Nate shows up. What are the chances? Hadn't seen or heard from the guy since he left town. I'm in the city for a couple hours, and he runs into me in the park? He fucking hates ball. Anyway, I barely recognized the guy. It looked like he was sick or some shit. He was pale, no hair anywhere, still ripped as fuck though. Even his eyes were white, which was really trippy. On top of that, he had this little crew following him around. A camera guy and a mic guy, and they were just fixed on him. He was acting like they weren't even there. What a trip. So we're sitting there, and I'm half expecting that he's going to kick my ass or something. The old muscle memory kicked in. But he was just talking. He's like, "Don't you see? This is all run. These guys aren't really playing. They're putting on a show. They are given the script, and they follow it. The teams aren't playing against each other. They are working together. They are the same team. They are here to put on a show. It's not real. It's run. It's rigged. Don't you see that? Leave it to Nate to say some fucked up shit. Some things never change, I guess. I mean, sure, it's pretty fucked up that you can't really prove who's on the take. Whether there's some hidden action underneath. There's gonna be rule benders in anything, and probably especially in the pros. At the end of the day, it don't bother me. It's the beauty of ball, man. Anything can happen at any time. And even if they're handing scripts out, I know there's at least one ball player out there who plays to his own script the best he can. Loves ball more than he loves himself. Knows ball is bigger than himself, and any lousy script some jack-off hands him. And he goes out there, night after night, playing true, and inspiring all those players down the wrong path to redeem themselves. To get them a little more on their own script. To get them loving ball again, you know? Like they used to when they were kids. I didn't say any of that, though. I can't think that fast. Guy caught me off guard. I just laughed and kept watching the game. I don't know what else he said. Something about a movement he started or some shit. I wasn't really paying attention. He eventually got angry with me. And just then, some nobody cracked a homer. I got up and cheered and slapped hands with people around me. Turned to Nate, and the threesome was gone. I didn't care if he was waiting outside to jump me. He wasn't going to ruin my night. In fact, if he did end up rolling me that night, I would have left this life a happy man. But he didn't. So win-win, I say. He hasn't bothered me since. Knock on wood. Oh, man. And the ball babes. The ball babes were nuts, man. So many. Half the time I wasn't even watching the game because I was too busy watching the babes, man. I was so busy creeping on a few that a foul ball whizzed right past my head. Oh, man, good times. Ava isn't into ball either. Something about an opiate for the masses or something? I don't know. I met up with her at the bar across the park after, and she took me out to this little rock and roll club, man. Oh, man, the chicks in there were nuts. Just everywhere. All kinds, man. Tough chicks, sexy chicks, hippie chicks, some ball babes too. Some band I never heard of was playing, and the chicks were dancing like crazy, man. It was nuts. Pretty good tunes. I told Ava I'd never danced in no club before, and she flipped and pulled me to the middle of the dance floor. Man, it was too much. I had to close my eyes sometimes. There was just too much to take in, man. Just sweaty babes rubbing up all over me. I damn near passed out from overstimulation. Bunch of us ended up shutting that place down. They literally kicked us out. We didn't want to leave. Ava said she'd never really done that either, which kind of surprised me. But not really. She took me to this late night pie place nearby. Oh man, was that good. Man, I'm telling you, the city, man, it's got it all. And turned up too. Then Ava tells me she's got this lady friend she wants me to meet. And I'm like, shit, I can't keep up with no city chicks, man. She's like, yeah, we met back when we were dancing at the titty clubs. I'm like, shit, I can't fuck with no city titty clubs, man. Might blow my head clear off. She's like, no, this chick is like you. She's been holed up in her place forever. Doesn't like going out. I'm like, oh yeah? Sounds a little familiar. We walked around the city till the sun came up. She was telling me about all the places we were walking by. It's like she'd been in every place. We ended up in a pretty sketchy looking part of downtown. People just laid out in the middle of the sidewalk, like they in their living rooms. We pulled up on this little building she called her office. She didn't show me around the main floor, but took me up some stairs to the suite above. Huge space. Nothing in it but a mattress and a TV in the middle of the floor. She told me to crash and that she would be by later to take me to her friend. I laid out on the mattress and the TV was bright as shit and I couldn't turn it off. Like a security camera in an office or some shit. So I passed out for a while and I wake up when I heard a door shut. I look up, no one at the door. Man, I was wearing a rager. Must have been the million chicks I saw the night before. I look over at the TV, and it's Ava. She's strapping some guy's arms behind the chair he was sitting in, and all she's wearing is some kind of tight thing around her tummy. Some music starts playing, and she starts dancing with a pole set up in the corner of this office. My jaw is just fucking hanging, and my rager was going nuts, man. I couldn't look away. It was mesmerizing. She dances over to the guy and starts throttling his rager with her foot. I shit you not, man. She goes back to dancing with the pole for a bit, then back to the guy. This time, she gets on top of him, straddling like, and ties a blindfold on him. Then she gets up on his rager and starts moaning. Man, I'm starting to rage right now, just remembering this shit. Well, I couldn't take it anymore. I fell back, and I messed all over that fucking mattress. By the sounds of the guy on the TV, he messed too. I kind of just laid there twitching. Fuck. Ava got off the guy, set him loose, and just left the office. He was just cleaning himself up when I heard the fucking door unlock, and Ava rolls in and asks me if I'm ready to go. Fuck. So we head out for lunch, and Ava is telling me more about this friend of hers, Nance, and how she ain't like most chicks and whatnot. She grabs her bag and pulls this weird pair of undies out and tells me Nance wants me to wear them. I'm like, what the fuck? Ava's like, yeah, it's a fake pussy. I'm like, what the fuck? She reaches back in her bag again and pulls out a fake rager right there in the middle of this restaurant. I'm like, what the fuck, man? She's like, yeah, you're going to wear this pussy and Nance is going to wear this pecker. And I'm like, what the fuck? How crazy is this chick? Ava digs in her bag again and she pulls out a collar and leash. And she's like, you're going to wear this collar and Nance is going to walk you around. I shit you not. So we roll up on this massive fucking skyscraper downtown. My knees are knocking, man. We get into the elevator. Ava pulls a key out, turns it in this keyhole, and then hits the button for the top floor. Well, fuck. I'm fucking shitting myself. I think the highest I'd ever been at that point was a third floor. We get up there, and there's one fucking door. Ava is telling me to strip down and put on my shit. I'm like, you're not fucking serious. These fucking city chicks, man. This is too much. So I do it. She takes my clothes. She's like, get down on your hands and knees and don't say anything. And she takes that fake pecker and shoves it in my mouth like a fucking bone. Knocks on the door and then runs and hides behind a fake tree in the corner. The door opened and there was Nance. An absolute fucking babe, man. Just standing there, completely naked. And she's like, a puppy, are you lost, little puppy? I always wanted a little puppy. Come inside and let me take care of you, sweetie. That's right. You're so cute. Oh, what is that in your mouth? Is that a bone? Is that for me? Thank you, sweetie. Let me put that on. Okay, come on in. Are you thirsty? Are you hungry? You must have been scared out there all alone. You poor thing. Nance is going to make everything better, sweetie. I shit you not, man. She already had bowls set up on the ground and everything. She started grabbing food and water and throwing them in the bowls. I don't know, man. What can I say? I was out of my element. I don't know what the fuck was going on. She really thought I was a puppy or some shit. What was I gonna do? I was already slobbering like a mutt just looking at her. I played right along with her, man. I did whatever the fuck she said. I shit you not, man. Fucking wild, wild shit. Once I ate and drank like she told me to, she started throwing a ball around and telling me to bring it back. So I ran after it on my hands and feet a few times, and she was kissing my face and telling me I was a good puppy whenever I brought it back to her. I damn near messed in my fake pussy just from that. Truly. After a while, she said that since I was such a good puppy, she'd grab a can of whipped cream. I shit you not, man. I'm raging again just remembering this. She started spraying cream on herself and telling me to lick it off. Man, it was too much. Tits, toes, I fucking sucked on every inch of her, man. She was moaning like crazy. It was fucking nuts. I shit you not. I messed all up in my fake pussy. I couldn't take it. It was too much, man. She even bent over and creamed up her crack. I shit you not. Once I finished cleaning her all up, she got real wacky. She fucking turned on me, man. Even her voice changed. She was like, "Are we ready? Are we ready for our bone? We don't know if we deserve our bone. Do we deserve our bone? Do we want our bone? Do we need our bone? We've been a bad puppy. When we're a bad puppy, we don't get to chew on our bone, do we? Where's our leash? Here. There we go. Get up on the bed. That's right. We know what happens to bad puppies around here. We know bad puppies don't get to nibble on our bone, do they? No, we know what happens to bad puppies around here, don't we? Bad puppies get hit with bones, don't they? We don't like getting hit, do we? I shit you not. I'm up on the bed, on hands and knees. She's fucking yanking on my collar and smacking her pecker off my ass cheeks. Well, my rager ran back inside quicker than you can say bone. fuck. And then she threw her pecker in my pussy. I shit you not. I couldn't fucking believe it, man. Just choking me out with the leash and throwing her pecker in my pussy. Saying shit like, do we like being a bad puppy? Do we love being a bad puppy? Do we want some more bone? Do we need some more bone? I shit you not. All of a sudden, we hear the front door slam shut and someone said, "We're here." Nance's face lights up with this huge smile. She starts yanking me off the bed by the collar and shoves me into the closet. I turned around to shut the doors, and she already ripped off her fake pecker and threw it at me so fast it smacked me right in the forehead. And Nance, well, she switched her tune once again, man. Now she was all like, "Daddy, we're in here." I couldn't believe this chick. Part of me thought the visitor sounded like Nate, but maybe he was just in the back of my mind after running into him the night before. So I'm just chilling in the closet, though I wasn't exactly chill. I could kind of see through the crack between the doors, and sure as shit, the threesome walked in. What are the fucking chances? Nate was already naked with the full-on rager, and Nance was on the bed like, "Daddy? Are we ready?" "Yes, we're ready, Daddy. We're always ready for Daddy." "Have we been bad?" "Yes, Daddy. We've been so bad, Daddy." "What are we going to do about that?" "We need to be taught a lesson, Daddy. We need Daddy to teach us a lesson." "Are we ready for our lesson?" "Yes, Daddy. We're always ready for Daddy. Oh, yes, Daddy. Yes. Teach us, Daddy. Yes. We're so bad, Daddy. Teach us, Daddy. Harder, Daddy. Yes. Teach us harder, Daddy. Yes. Yes. Yes." "Do we want to be good?" "Yes, Daddy. Teach us to be good, Daddy." "Are we bad?" "Yes, Daddy. We've been so bad, Daddy." "Are we learning our lesson?" "Yes, Daddy. Keep teaching us, Daddy. Just like that, Daddy. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. Yes. Daddy. Yes. Yes. Just like that, Daddy. Yes. 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 Oh, yes." "Have we learnt our lesson?" "Oh, yes, Daddy. Yes. Thank you, Daddy." "Are we going to be good?" "Oh, so good, Daddy. Anything for Daddy." "Good." I shit you not, man. Fucking wild shit. The threesome just rolled right back out of there, slammed the door behind them. Nance was still laid out on the bed. She was still moaning and giggling, just laying there. Part of me was thinking she forgot that I was in the closet. I didn't want to let myself out, just in case she thought I was being a bad puppy. And I didn't want to run into the threesome again, so I just stayed put. Nance wasn't making any noises or moving anymore. Figured she was passed out. All of a sudden, she popped up real quick, opened the closet, and laughed at me. She took the collar off me and handed me a bathrobe. She put one on too and walked out the room. I followed her out into the living room. She went to the kitchen and grabbed 2 bowls of cereal and brought them over to the couch. I sat down next to her, and she handed me one. She turned on the TV and flicked over to a channel with funny failures. We sat back and ate and laughed at the TV. There was a series of ice failures, Some guy slipped on some ice and she spit cereal all over the coffee table. And we were both just bent over laughing. Another series was just people accidentally walking into shit. Some guy hit his head on a sign, and milk started coming out of my nose. She looked over at me and tried to hold her cereal back, but she ended up spitting all over me. I started to fucking choke on cereal. She fucking fell off the couch and spilt the rest of her cereal on the floor. I was struggling to catch my breath once I coughed the cereal up, and she could barely breathe from choking on her own laughter. She shut the TV off so we could calm down a little bit. I went over to the kitchen to grab some wet towels and the garbage can. We wiped up as much spit and cereal as we could, still laughing as we went along. I put the cleaning supplies back in the kitchen, and she came back from the bedroom with the fake junk and collar and leash. She walked over to the front door, and I followed. She opened the door and threw everything into the hallway and laughed. She took the robe off me, whispered in my ear, "Goodbye, cutie," grabbed my junk and bit my ear. I didn't know what to do, so I just said, "Woof." She laughed, and as I walked out the door, I looked back at her, and she slapped her ass and laughed and slammed the door shut. Ava came back out from behind the fake tree with a big smile on her face, shaking her head. She tossed my clothes at me and pulled out some rubber gloves and a plastic bag to pick up the fake junk and collar and leash. We got back in the elevator, and as we rode down, she kept giggling like she saw the whole thing. I asked what was so funny. She just scratched my head and said, "Goo."